Hi everyone, my name's Brianna. I was assigned to read Article 8 and 9 for this week's readings. After reading Article 8, I actually found it to be very accurate and interesting. The whole time I was comparing it to my work history and workplace settings and how men were treated and communicated with women. It is true. I also related firsthand on men having a difficult time wanting to ask for help in a lot of certain situations. Especially in my own life, there's been times where me and my husband have been driving and he refuses to use navigation, and will not turn on the navigation until eventually I end up having to turn it on so we can get to our destination on time. That was one of the biggest ones that stood out to me, because men's communication styles can be a little more stern. And even in the workplace, I've had a boss who was very straight to the point, didn't care much about his delivery, and wasn't mostly concerned on people's feelings, I guess I could say. Whereas when I was in a supervisor position and I would have to talk to the techs at where I worked, I was always gentle. And I shouldn't even say at work, just at work, in all my relationships in life. Very soft-spoken. As a woman, I don't want to hurt another woman's feelings or another man's. I'm very, I tread lightly in communicating. So I related to that from the reading as well. For the questions, according to the author, how do men and women communicate differently in the workplace? How does this result in issues? Like I just said, I think men are a little bit more stern and don't give too much emotion into things. Women, like I said, tread lightly. I think we do this because it's what we've grown up doing. I've observed it. I've observed it from other female bosses, and I'm sure that could be the same for men in workplace settings. And men can be, seen or expected to be like the man, the boss man, and just setting those stern energies and communication to other people, including women. As far as achieving status, as a woman, I would say, as a 29-year-old, I have a lot of older women friends. I think that women achieve status, mostly, I would say, by their husbands. I would say, I've heard a lot of, or I guess, even fashion too, but I would say, or education. My husband does this for a living and he makes this much and we're able to afford this and that. I have friends that do talk like that, although I don't think that they're trying to say it in a bragging kind of way, but it can make someone like me, where I generally can't afford, to do or purchase, crazy things like that or take crazy trips like that. It can make me as a person just look at them like, oh, wow, so they obviously make more money. She can buy all the clothes she wants, and it makes me feel at a lower status than her, essentially. Although, we're really good friends and I shouldn't be having those feelings, but that's one thing that came to mind. Or education. I have a best friend who graduated with her master's in clinical social work from USC, and now she's on to her doctorate program, and it makes me, I'm just barely finishing my associates, so that can make me feel like she's at a higher status than me because she's so much further along in her career. than I am. So those are the answers I thought of for this reading. But overall, I thought Article 8 was really relatable in good ways and in bad ways. So that's all I got for Article 8. After reading Chapter 9 article on the hunter's scarce, I actually found that to be really interesting. I have not learned much about hunters and gatherers. My assumption of them has always been like fighting for survival, eating whatever, mostly struggling at their way of living and just trying to provide. Although that is kind of the case, but this article was actually quite fascinating on how Lee explained the hunters and gatherers. The reality of the Kung substance strategy is they hunt every 3 to 2 days or 3 to 5 days, it said in the article, which is great. And the rest of their days, they're relaxing and hanging out with family. That was their strategy because the women could provide the fruits as well, and they actually provided more than the men did. And as far as hunting and finding nutrition. I think the Kung, I hope I'm saying that right, value most is time with family. Like I said before, they would hunt for 3 days and then take a few days off. And then they would do dancing, hanging out with family, going and visiting other areas. They would travel in between. I thought that was really good because here in America, it's always go, 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 go. Whereas the hunter and gatherers seem more family oriented and slowed down and more giving and sharing. Whereas in America, we go to work 9 to 5, we go to food and we provide for our own family. Although there are generous people and kind people, I just think that the hunter and gatherers live a little bit more of a slower lifestyle and value time with family a lot more. It's hard because I know people have to work and it's hard to put that time for family, but they make it a point to spend time. This article did change my perspective on the hunter-gatherers. I thought, like I said previously, it was survival mode 24/7, spears, eating whatever they could get their hands off on. I didn't realize that how much they slowed down and were okay and were surviving and got enough nutrients from the food that they were getting. Did it make you think? It made me actually kind of jealous because I wish I could, go get my stuff done, provide for my family 2 to 3 days, and then have days off to spend with my family and enjoy food and relax and dance and have quality time. I think that's really important in life. And us today in America, we're all go, 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 and life kind of just snaps by us. And before you know it, you're 30 and then you're 40 and, and you wish you would have spent more time with the people you love. So overall, this article was super fascinating, and the hunter and gatherers seem to live a pretty great lifestyle, aside from not being able to catch mammals for long periods of times, but they do make it work. And I thought this was a really cool article. So thank you.